James chapter 3, verses 10, 11, and 12, it continues to talk about our conversation, the words that we use. It continually is referencing our tongue and our mouth and what we do in glorifying God by the things that we say, by our conversation. And this verse, I felt like these verses here were important to bring the whole conversation about this up again. Number one is because the Bible brought it up over and over and over again in James chapter 1, 2, and 3. But secondly, because it brings it to a different light. You know, we talked about how what happens when we say things we're not supposed to say, and the words that come out of our mouth, how they affect people negatively, positively. We talked yesterday about how what you say can start a fire. What kind of fire is that starting? Well, today, reading these verses, it begins to tell us a little bit about who we are, because it says Jesus said this, you can judge a tree by its fruit. Basically, it says this, you know, the fact is, if you see an apple hanging on a tree, you know it's an apple tree. If you see a grapevine, you know that there's grapes, you know it's a grapevine. So whatever type of fruit you are producing, that is what you are, that is who you are. So these verses, James chapter 3, 10, 11, and 12, they tell us that whatever comes out of our mouth, that is who we are. That is what we are truly inside. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what is in our heart is what comes out of our mouth. So if you're thinking about things that we're not supposed to think about, or we're involved in things we're not supposed to be involved in, or we're doing something with our life that's not what we should be doing, then those are the types of things that end up coming out of our mouth. Because whatever's in our heart has to come out of our mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It overflows out of you, whatever's deep down inside of you. And here's the deal. This again, James does this beautifully. He puts us all on the same playing field, because here's the deal. If you read the Bible tells me that every single one of our hearts, mine, yours, and everybody else's, is deceitfully wicked. Jeremiah says your heart is deceitfully wicked. It's so wicked that you can't even understand how wicked it is. That's what it says. So when we have these types of hearts, then that is the type of stuff that overflows out of our mouth, and that changes who we are. And so that, again, puts us on the level playing field where we're in need of Jesus to live through us. Paul said this over and over again. It's not me who lives, but it's Christ who lives through me. I have to die to myself. Got to die to myself daily. I have to put myself to death. I have to not live in my flesh, but I have to let God live through me. Because if we try to live on our own, living apart from God, John 15 says we can do nothing apart from God. If we do that, then we end up living a life that's honoring and glorifying for God. And so tonight, what we're wanting to do with James 3, 10, 11, and 12 is to live for God by letting Him live through us. Because when we let our mouth speak out of the abundance of our heart, then we end up saying things that are going to hurt people. We end up doing things that are going to hurt ourselves and hurt other people. So focus on that, and I believe tomorrow we're going to be moving into a different subject beyond the whole what we talk about and what our mouth does and how we use our mouth to honor and glorify God, or vice versa, not doing it to honor and glorify God, using it for things that are not honoring and glorifying to God. So tonight, hope you guys read that, take that to heart. Don't forget to click the link right here below so that you can actually read the verses that we're talking about. There's a link right there below, always, that you can click on to actually read the verses that we talk about every day. I want to make sure and remind you guys that is there. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.